Hi, this is Steve Garland, head wrestling coach at the University of Virginia, giving my weekly Virginia Wrestling video newsletter. First thing I want to do is recap our weekend. We competed against Duke away. We had another ACC dual meet against Duke at their place. And another tough loss. It's been a really tough year for us, to put it mildly. It's the fourth dual meet that I think of, probably maybe even more. It's definitely the fourth that I can count, where we were absolutely in position to win the duel. I think we split 5-5 and lost on bonus points. There were so many matches this year where we've been right there where we could have and should have won and didn't get it done. We didn't bite down and finish. We didn't bite down and figure it out and find a way to hammer it out. And winning is a habit and losing is a habit. And because we've lost those close ones this year, it's become potentially maybe even habit forming to not gut out those wins, whereas in other years past we found a way to win all those close ones. And so it's very disheartening and disappointing, and we need to break that habit. And so that was the message to the team in the locker room. I think afterwards, it's the first time all year that I've blown my top on the guys in the locker room, and I got to regroup on Monday and really have more coherent, intelligent, well thought out thoughts for them, and I thought that it went really well. I thought that the way the guys responded to my message to them on Monday was great, and we had a fantastic practice Monday, had a really good practice yesterday morning, and then today is an active rest day for them. It's an off day. So, look, I'm gonna highlight some of the highlights from the match, but the reality is we have to find a way to, regardless of the injuries and all the other things that have happened, so what? We need to take inventory of what we have, because what we have had in there, even with all the injuries, is good enough to win those duels. And what we have is guys that had positions to win bouts that they lost late and didn't win. So we have to just address what we need to address, and frankly, our guys need to make the necessary changes. And ultimately, it falls on me. It's my responsibility to help them as their coach get to those changes, but relationships are a two-way street, and so we need to work together better, myself and our staff and our kids, to come to a place where we're gonna find a way, and that leads into this weekend, which is a huge weekend for us, and I'll get to that in a second. Highlights from Duke match, though. Andrew Atkinson, we started the match at 157, and then at 65, Andrew Atkinson did a really good job of gutting out a tough win against a very tough kid in Fine Silver. Crazy back and forth match. Got the first takedown. Then I forget. I think he gave up a takedown. And he got ridden and he reversed him, and it was just back and forth, and Andrew guts it out and gets the win. And it was really good for him. He's been steadily climbing since Virginia Duels. He's just been getting better and better. He's been working closely with Trent Paulson in the room specifically, and I think Trent's had a really big impact on him, and he's starting to come around to be the Andrew that we've seen in the past. So that's been great. 184, Drew Peck, true freshman for us. We just pulled him out of red shirt recently, and he has to wrestle the number 3 guy in the country right off the bat, his first ever college match. So that was a tough welcome to college wrestling. But man, as he rebounded, he had a great win for us on Saturday. I thought he did a great job. The young man who he beat actually beat Jay Aiello during the year, up a weight at 197. So it was a solid win, and the way he did it, he had a beautiful ankle pick. You can see it on our highlights that are on the Twitter page for Virginia Wrestling. A beautiful ankle pick, and then he got 2 turns on top. just did great, and trust me, he's got a long way to go, but we were really impressed with his skills. He's got great skill set, and that was just a really good thing for him and for the team. And then at 197 was one of the wilder matches of the night. Jay Aiello got 2 takedowns and was doing great. I think he was in the driver's seat. It was 5-5 heading into the third, and he went down, and he learned a tough lesson. He made a mistake on bottom and got turned, and he ends up getting out right after that, but it was too little too late. He ends up losing by a point. So we let that match get away, but I think that's one that Jay's going to learn from for sure. And Jay looked awesome for 90% of that match. So I think, or 80% of that match, I'd say. So there's a lot of good things that came out of that. So even though it was a loss, I would list it as a highlight in terms of learning, because there are specific things that we know he's going to change based on the conversations we had with him afterwards. Heavyweight, Tyler Love came right out, got a takedown on Casper, who's an absolute stud. Beautiful mat return, and was doing great. And then kind of match unraveled towards the end when Casper got on top. Casper was one of the best guys in the country on top. But we're just really proud of the way Tyler came out and competed in such a way in that first period. Louis Hayes won at 25. Jack Mueller won at 33. and then we got a major decision at 49. But we ended up losing on the bonus points, 57 heavyweight, and I forget where the other one was, maybe 74, I forget. But so that's unacceptable. We need to not give up bonus, and we need to get bonus where we need to. That's been the theme. That same thing happened with Missouri when we split with them. The same thing happened with Iowa State, how we lost to them. It came down the last bout. It was bonus points in the middle that killed us. So, like I said, those are things that only our guys can truly handle when they're on the mat, you know. But, like I said, to talk to my team is look, what do we do now, though, right? And how you respond. And we love our team. I love our guys. There's so many. As staff, we need to take inventory, too. I was talking to Travis yesterday about how the good things that are going on in our program. I'm not even talking about on the mat. I'm talking about off the mat. I'm talking about things that we see that you guys don't see, and that we're really encouraged by, and the fact that, you know, God's timing is different from our timing. Sometimes there's things that we want right now that maybe aren't coming to fruition right now, but will be in the future, and we need to trust for that and believe in that. And so, heading into the weekend, I'm just excited to see how our team's going to respond, how they're going to come together. They typically do a good job of coming together, so Virginia Tech couldn't find a better time to do it. Virginia Tech is the 10th ranked team in the country, or 9th ranked, ranked team in the country. They're a phenomenal program. I think almost every guy in their lineup's nationally ranked. And so we got another big battle on our hands, but I expect the crowd to be crazy. I expect it to be the most people we've had all year, I hope. I've already been getting calls and texts. I think there's going to be a lot of people coming down, and it's going to be a great showdown with in-state rival and one of the best teams in the country, who are very well coached, great kids. So it's awesome. It's a great event. If you like wrestling, or if you just like athletics, this is something you want to come to, because it's going to be an entertaining event. So I'll just say that. It's 1 p.m., Mem Gym, Sunday, Mem Gym, free. People have been calling me and asking me about tickets and everything. It's free. I would love to charge, but yeah, that's a whole nother story. But it's free, though. Come on in. Everybody's welcome. There's going to be a youth dual meet ahead of time. I know there's a lot of youth clubs coming. Should be a packed house. Make sure you get there, 1 p.m., Mem Gym, Sunday. And I do want to say this one last thing. I always try to promote the Cavalier Wrestling Club events, and the Cavalier Wrestling Club is hosting a casino night on Saturday at the Knights Inn, right on 29, right behind Bodo's. 5:30 is the dinner, and I think the actual event gets going at 6. And it's going to be, everybody's welcome. It's a fundraiser for the Cavalier Wrestling Club, which is a 501c3 non-for-profit wrestling club, and it's a phenomenal organization that's been partnering with us for years. And I just encourage everybody with a heartbeat for Virginia wrestling to be there and participate in that event. And I'll send out a separate video as well, potentially trying to make sure I remind everybody the details of that event. So stick with us, hang in there, guys. We are there's good things on the horizon. There's a lot of work being done with these kids, both in the room and out of the room, and that's something you guys can be proud of. So go Hoos.